Keeping Hearthstone fresh, so this is what happened. New cards should have an impact on standard and enrich wild. So the Druid cards that got hit were these three. Ancient of Lore, I completely agree with this. I suggested them to myself that it would be... I'm gonna... Where's the camera? I think the camera is like under... I'll get so you can see my ugly face. Like I suggested it myself that that it would be like draw 1 or heal for 8, but draw 1 or heal for 5, that's fine too, don't care. Alright, there we go, hi. So, Druid of the Ancient of the Druid Lore, draw a card or rest of it. I'm happy about this. It's so frustrating whenever like Druid, Ancient of Lore draws 2 when they're out of cards. Yeah, so now it's like probably not even getting played that much. Because if you compare it to Azure Drake, I don't think it's very good anymore. Because Azure Drake is 2 mana less, and only -1/-1, but you get a spell power too. So I actually think this card is like pretty much trashed here, because the heal for 5 is not spectacular. So we can see like Ancient of Wars maybe from now on out. Like that's a major hit. Absolutely, I think this card is now like kind of like garbage. I would have buffed the restore health so it wouldn't be complete garbage, but I guess the soul of the card stays the same now, because it's like heal for 5 still. Force of Nature. Someone used to... Yeah, so... I'm repeating myself a little bit since I talked about this already, but just so you have like the visual thing too here. 5 mana, and it summons 3 2s and 3s. Yeah, okay, sure. Might be playable in some weak to AoE. I think it's a fine card, depending on what kind of deck you're playing. If you're playing like this and like just some kind of aggro deck that in a meta where there's low AoE, I guess it might be a thing, but it's weak to AoE, so probably not gonna see Force of Nature too much. Thank God, I'm never gonna die to that combo again. Double combo wrecked, yeah right. 4 cards, he would have to have exactly those cards.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Keeper of the Crow, okay, so this was also, I predicted that this would be a card that they would change, but I thought they would remove the silence effect instead of nerfing the stats. But this stat decrease is substantial, like this card sucks now. Once again, you're gonna play Spellbreaker instead, like you don't wanna play this card anymore. I don't think dealing 2 damage with like a 4 mana 2/2, what the, you don't wanna do that, just forget about it. You don't play this card anymore, I think, I'm almost certain. If you want the silence, you're gonna play a Spellbreaker. And same thing here, like Spellbreaker is 4 mana 4/3, Iron Big Owl, bye! Not gonna miss him. Can't go hoot somewhere else. Unplayable, you don't want this in your deck. Even at 2 mana, it's not included in that many decks right now. So yeah, if you really have to have a silence, play a Spellbreaker. Big Game Hunter, 5 mana. That's pretty sick. I'm loving it. I don't know about you guys, but it's just you don't play this anymore. You play the class specific removal, like whatever your class is offering, you're gonna play that instead. You're not gonna play this. It's too clunky. Like what made Big Game Hunter was so good that it was so cheap that you could like play other stuff on the same turn. Like you remove your opponent's big thing, and you do other moves. But with 5 mana being spent on it, I don't think it's gonna be that impactful. I wouldn't be like, the ridiculous thing is that even at 5 mana, it's not completely impossible that this card still gets played. I think that it might be included in something like Reno Warlock maybe. It can still be played potentially. Which kind of again like signals how ridiculously broken it was before, but most likely we're gonna say goodbye to Big Game at this point and not see too much of it anymore. But if everybody's playing big minions in their decks, I mean, yeah, sure, it does deal. If your class doesn't offer very good removal on its own, like let's say Druid, like you might not want to play Mulch, although I do think Mulch is going to be better than this now. You can play this, but in like Warlock you probably play Siphon because it's more flexible. Hunter's Mark, yeah, this one I didn't see coming, but it does make a lot of sense. Hunter's Mark is really powerful, gives a lot of tempo. Yeah, happy about the change. Still definitely playable card. It would have been gotten more popular. I have to put it in like perspective with the owl change, because the reason why we haven't seen that many Hunter's Marks yet has been because it's kind of like you play either this or the owl. So now that owl is like useless, I think Hunter's Mark is actually going to get potentially more play time than it used to. because it's more important to have like other means to get through the taunt, so you can go face. Blade Flurry. Blade Flurry is a problem because it enables both killer and heavy burst. Yeah, takes away the burst. Like some of the like big weapons and go face and then Flurry. It's a ridiculous amount of damage. I think the card is still gonna be like somewhat. Wait, what? 4 mana. Okay, I missed the mana cost change. So not only does it only deal damage to minions, but the mana cost is up to 4. Okay, see ya. What is this garbage? That's like so bad now. That's, oh my god. I think they might have went a little bit overboard with this, but Blade Flurry certainly was very powerful. But that's a bit much. I wouldn't want to be a rogue player right now. I don't really mind, like, I don't mind this that much, but holy moly, if there's somebody who's like really loves rogue, I think this might feel a bit bad. This one in particular. Like all the other ones, like all the other changes don't like feel bad, but this is like it got nuked from the orbit. Like it's not just like slightly bad now, it's worthless. What the hell? What did they say about it? It's because it enables both killer and heavy burst, and it's also obstacle to adding better cards. Okay, well, I guess, yeah. So they can't give, like, new weapons because of Flurry. That's how I'm reading it. Okay, so then it makes a little bit... Yeah, I'm glad that they like... Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. So they can't print good weapons because Flurry is so powerful. That's it. That's how you should be looking at this. That's the reason why this is so drastic, because they wanna give Rogue more weapons. Rogue is like a class that's like you're supposed to play weapons and swing with them, so like you can't make a good weapon for Rogue ever when this is good card. Okay. Power from neutral minions. Knife Juggler changes. Well, I wanted this card to only deal damage to like face or only deal damage to minion or something. This is fine. I mean, I think it might be bad enough that it doesn't get played right now, like afterwards. Still annoyed. No, this is still an annoying card, but definitely a change that I'm happy with. I don't know what more there's to say. If you play like Master of Battle or Implosion or some kind of effects like Knife Juggler Unleash the Hounds, for example, it's probably still gonna be a thing. But definitely gonna see a little bit less play. Leper Gnome. 1-1! Yeah, this card is like pretty much trash now. I wouldn't play it, like it doesn't trade with the 2-drop anymore. When you top deck this, it feels so bad. Even on turn 2, on turn 1, I mean. You probably don't want to play this, you just rather play like something that has 2 attack. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in a Hobgoblin deck it's gonna be good. Hobgoblin thing is not gonna be a thing in standard mode, but like in theory, if you play Hobgoblins in Wild, then this card is now gonna fit in. Arcane Golem. 3 mana 4/4, yeah, this is unplayable, don't touch it, like just delete it. This is just dust it, okay? Like we know how bad Dancing Swords is. Like it's a horrible card, but this is even worse. This is like bad, even worse Dancing Swords. So yeah, Arcane Golem. I'm glad it got taken out because the OTK Reno lock would have been quite powerful, I would imagine. So no, we're not gonna see that. So that's great. Molten Giant 25. I do think that Molten would have been a problem going forward because of Warlock decks. And I do like Molten's getting changed. 25 mana, like, oh my god. Huh? Don't mind. It's not gonna be playable anymore, like, there's no way you can play this card. Unless it's like, you know, Ice Block Freeze Mage maybe, like, where you rely on an Ice Block. That's the only, like, place for this, potentially, I think, after this. For Warlocks, it's way too bad, like, you just can't, I don't think you can play this. This is no way, like, you would have to let yourself go so low in HP in order for this to be playable. It's just not happening. Okay. Not gonna miss Molten, bye. Master of Disguise. Yeah, I mean, nobody played it already, but it's something that whenever they print like rogue cards with, let's say, an ability that triggers at the end of turn, like if there was a cheap Emperor type of effect that gained you like benefits every turn, if you could give it permanent stealth, that would be like an issue and something that is like frustrating to play against. So I can understand this. I don't really care. Sure, design space. Yeah, get rid of it. They actually changed most of the stuff that I wanted them to. I'm really happy with this. I'm not gonna lie. The Blade Flurry was like the nerf that I didn't know that I wanted, but this is a little bit like more than I expected. Yeah, okay. I am glad. Divine Favor is not on the list, but that's probably the only thing. I don't think it's like, or maybe Mind Control deck, but those cards are not like that broken. That's just frustrating. They're like my personal least favorites. Double Murloc Knight thing. If he gets like old Murkai or War Leader or anything, almost anything. Oh no! What are you doing to me?